My blessings, everybody. This is Saoirse with another book review for Pagan Pages, and today's book is by Carl Abrahamsson, and it's called Anton LaVey and the Church of Satan, Infernal Wisdom from the Devil's Den. And I'm going to show you this lovely picture of LaVey on the front here, and you can see this is a thick book. This is over 300 pages. This is 365 pages, including the appendixes and the index. And I'm going to say before I get started, for me, I specifically asked to review this one because I have a great appreciation for Anton LaVey when I was recovering from the abuses that were inflicted upon me at the hands of Christianity, picking up the Satanic Bible and reading that it was okay to feel the way that I felt and to not want to forgive and forget and not want to do good things and kind things and be around the people who harmed me was very healing. It validated my feelings. That's just one of the many humanist things that Anton LaVey brought to the occult and to his atheist religion. It was basically an atheist religion. Some people think that Satanists are devil worshippers. No, not so. Satan was an archetype that represented the human side of us, our urges to indulge and to enjoy and to be normal, and our animal side, we are protective, we are ferocious, we are emotional, we are a lot of things, but we are not joyless creatures who are supposed to be pure, because quite frankly, that concept of purity that LaVey was seeing people promote through Christianity, he saw that it didn't exist. And so in the I guess it was in the 60s, he started publishing, and he was very revolutionary. So I'm going to read some excerpts from this book. LaVey said the Satanist recognizes all aspects of sexuality, whether it be heterosexual, bisexual, homosexual, sadistic, masochistic, voyeuristic, ad infinitum, so long as they are practiced with due observance of legal boundaries and the well-being of the persons involved, who, of course, must be consenting adults. Bisexuality is as prevalent in the realm of our four-legged friends as it is among the species Homo sapiens. Therefore, let none be guilty of harboring the insidious teachings of Christian sexual abnormality. To the Satanist, nearly all sex is normal, provided we do not inflict ourselves upon those who do not desire our attention. Then Abrahamsson said, for me, one of the reasons that I was attracted to the philosophy in the first place was that I was already drawn to animals and the satanic archetype. Oh no, this is Blanche Barton's interview. Abrahamsson asked her what LaVey's greatest contributions to her life were, and she was his partner for over 30 years. In his biographer, she is the mother of his son. And she said, at the age you're looking for philosophy, you're weighing a lot. Buddhism, maybe Judaism, maybe Christianity, spiritualism, different things. You're evaluating as an intelligent person. You're looking for something to orient your life. The reason I like Satanism was that it emphasized animals and the earth and women. The power of women. The power of the witch to outrage, to make people uncomfortable, to demand, to destroy, to enchant, whether it's intimidation or bending the mind to your will, to bewitch. This was always in Satanism from the very beginning. It was long before the Wiccans started their Dianic path and the more organized neo-pagan ritual stuff. That's true. That came later in Wicca. This was back in the 60s. This was back in 66 when he started the organization. Before that, he had his witches' workshops teaching women how to bend men's mind to their will, owning your power. And then he asked her, what do you think was the greatest change for America, specifically that LaVey, but also the church brought to the table? She said, I think Anton LaVey and the Church of Satan can definitely be seen at the forefront of the counterculture wave that was happening at the time. What I appreciate is that he wasn't swayed. He got very irritated with the whole hippie movement because people would come to him and they'd try to give him beads or rocks or something to pay for his lectures, and they'd come in high or stoned on LSD or drunk or something. He'd slam the door in your face because you don't want to go into the ritual chamber without your full faculties, because it can be very, very dangerous when you conjure for yourself. Again, the left-hand path is not for sissies, you know. You can conjure some very dark demons for yourself, and they will pursue you, and it will take you to some very bad places. He didn't want that disruptive element in the ritual chamber at all. He didn't feel that people should be out of control. Now, there are over a dozen interviews in here, including with his son, and then Peter Gilmore, who is one of the heads of the Church of Satan, Frater Peter, and then Kenneth Anger, a very famous avant-garde filmmaker. This whole book reads as a tribute to LaVey and all the things that he brought to society and all the things that he did for people. Abrahamsson loved LaVey very, very much and wanted to talk about the history, his personality, hear from people who he was involved with, and put in some of the teachings. So at the very end of the book, before the index, of course, is Appendix 1, and that's Anton LaVey in his own words, excerpts from Hail Satan, which was a book that Blanche Barton published. So I'm just going to read some tidbits that you will find from some of the various writings of Anton LaVey. The public loves to be fooled. And secondly, they'll pay any price for an identity. If being fooled they will gain an identity, they would rather be fooled. I think people in general who conduct themselves admirably should be given special privileges. I don't think people should be rewarded for being malefactors or for being just disturbers. There should be no reward for malefactors. I don't think we're in a position to talk about justice when there's so much injustice in the world. But until people decide that they want it any different, then I suppose that's the way it's going to be. I have my own code of justice, though. My code of justice says that if a person is out to harm me or anyone that I care for, they are violating my law. My law being that the territorial imperative or the boundaries of freedom that I have set for myself or that have been set for me are being violated. He said, ritual or ceremonial magic to me is not a lot of ringing of bells and wearing of oils and burning of candles and chanting and that sort of thing. Ritual could be very personalized, should be very personalized. It should be meaningful. The greatest and most effective rituals are those that are unique, those that are exclusive, those that are truly occult, those that no one but yourself can understand. Those are the things that, because of their exclusivity, stand out like beacons. So this lovely book can be purchased online. It was published in 2022 by a publishing house called Inner Traditions out of Rochester, Vermont. And this can be had online from various distributors. I highly recommend this if you want to know more about Anton LaVey or hear from the people who knew him and loved him and read some of his teachings. This has been Saoirse with another book review for Pagan Pages. Until next time, blessed be.